So, what do you do when a monster reveals himself to you? My take is when they reveal themselves to you, you thank them. You thank them for revealing it to you as soon as possible. I would rather have a dog that I know is a biting dog than a dog to become that's kind of friendly that all of a sudden turns on me and bites me viciously. Because in that case I've let my guard down and that dog has taken advantage and has bitten me worse than a dog that I know will attack me if he gets loose from that yard and in his space. So I know not to go into that space. And I've made a few mistakes in my time, and I've trusted people who have shown their monster side. And there is a thought that I can tame the monster. You can't tame a monster. I'm going to give this person a link, but I'm going to tell him that I do have a short time. So let me give this man, who I think is on dialysis, a link. He asked for a link, and this man is kind of a monster. He has shown me a monstrous side. It doesn't take that much to disappoint him. And when you do disappoint him in his way, he does threaten to come after you. Even if he doesn't mean it, he will still do that. That man is Howard, and I've given him a link. People always say, why do you give that guy a link? And why do you do this and that? Well, part of my stoicism is dealing with difficult people who are not nice or kind. This is the world. The world is cruel, and Howard's no exception to that world. Go ahead, Howard. You got anything to add?
Stop being a baby.
I'm not being a baby. How is your dialysis, Howard?
You wish. My A1C is below 7. Where's yours?
I don't even know, Howard. Don't know.
My
I do
blood
care.
pressure. My blood pressure is 110 over 70.
Well, did you come here to brag to me about your health?
Excuse me. You're the one that just wished I was on dialysis. Go fuck yourself.
Howard, you are vindictive and you are cruel, and
I am not either of those.
you don't consider yourself to be a vindictive person.
No. I
You,
consider you to be a bit evil.
why am I a bit evil? What is in your brain that makes you think that I'm evil, Howard?
Well, it's not a matter of being in the brain or not in the brain. You have no loyalty and you're very two-faced.
Continue.
I wouldn't work for you. If you really have people working for you, they must be miserable.
What have I done that has shown that I am two-faced?
Well, you speak differently with JP than you do with others. When JP is on, you have a an air of more control. You come across as being a little more, I say a little more, not a lot, a little more focused. So your way of doing things when you talk with me, I think is phony.
So when I talk with you, it's considered phony. When I talk with JP, is it real?
It's less phony. You sound more cogent when you talk with JP. When you talk with me, I think you pretend to be a bit more on the spectrum and more retarded.
I don't even know what the hell you're getting at, Howard.
Yes, you do. See, that's the thing. You can say that. You can say you don't know, but you know. And you know exactly what you're doing because you're playing a scam.
I don't know what scam I'm playing. I'm not even making any money at this, so I'm not making
It's
neither
not
of
a
us
matter of making money. You're playing games.
really.
You're trolling.
How so?
I just explained to you how so.
Oh, well, give me a break, Howard. Jeez Louise. Come on.
Your uh, the way you comport yourself when you speak with me, or oh yeah, where's your friend donning armor? Did he abandon you?
Well, like I said, you kind of came after him, so he's not around anymore. I didn't know the
So
guy.
are you saying that I drove him away like Mr. Solution?
Yeah, probably. I don't know the whole situation, but more than likely your hostility drove him away. Yeah, sure.
Is that right? Hmm.
Why would you dox him? What would be the reason for that?
I didn't dox him. Who told you I doxed him?
You acted as though you doxed him.
Hold on. How does one act as if they dox somebody? Explain that.
Well, you'd give out his name, Christopher, and you'd said that, like I think you
And
didn't you
where did that information come from?
I think the Hake report. I mean,
That's exactly where it came from.
so you are a
That's
fan of
exactly
it.
where it came from.
You
He
are
doxed himself.
I see. He doxed himself.
Of
Um,
course he did. He's the one that gave that information out. I know
well,
his father's British. I know his daddy's British. He's got very bad teeth. He's very prejudiced, very bigoted. Not racist because he doesn't have the power to be a racist, but he lives at home. He doesn't do much, but he's doxed himself. He's told all this to Hake in various places. It's just all put together. That's not doxing.
I
That's information that's out there on YouTube.
yes, I stand.
YouTube.
I stand corrected, but
You sit corrected.
I sit corrected and I stand corrected. When I stand, I'll stand corrected as well, Howard.
I don't know that you can stand. Do you need a cane to stand?
No, I don't. Is this going to be 20 questions about me, Howard? Are
That's a
the,
question. Why are you wearing a Hannibal Lecter icon on
it's
there?
it's a Jason icon because today is Friday the 13th, and I'm talking about monsters.
No, today's not Friday the 13th. It's Saturday the 14th.
No, Howard, today is Friday the 13th.
Do you pee in the shower?
No, Howard, I don't pee in the shower.
So let me ask you. So if you're in the shower and you have to piss, you don't do it in the shower.
What is the
You
point
turn the
of
shower off and go use the toilet.
what is the point of this question, Howard?
It's a it's a it's a it's a question that gets me closer to the inner workings of your mind.
Howard, you're wasting time right now, and I'm going to have to get to work fairly
How
soon.
am I not? How am I wasting time? What is it that your show, this one, what's it about?
It's about people revealing themselves as monsters.
Are you a monster?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I consider
Can
you.
you admit to the can you admit to the monster that you are?
Can you?
Well, I'm not a monster.
You know what?
I do have loyalty, unlike you.
And I am an unloyal. How have I? You did not explain to me how I have shown my unloyalty. Explain to me again. I'm fat and I'm slow. Explain to me again in your pea brain, Howard, how I am unloyal.
Well, first of all, I don't accept the fact that I have a pea brain. I'm smarter than you. Do
Okay,
you? Well, wait. Do you disagree with that statement? Let me put the statement out there. I, Howard, am smarter than Brian or Mr. Midnight Movie by multitudes, not by a few points here and there, by multitudes. Do you
okay,
disagree with that?
okay. Sure, you're a smarter person by multitudes. You dwarf me in every way. Go ahead.
Well, by just by speaking, I dwarf you.
Good. Continue, Howard. Please
So I
proceed.
ask you again, are you a monster?
Not to my knowledge, I'm not.
Yet you think I'm a monster. Why would I be a monster and you're not?
You come across as very vindictive and very petty.
That's not an answer I come across. I don't know what that means. Give me concrete, factual, historical, anything that points to me being a monster.
You dox people and you try to get them.
Who did I dox?
I'm not going to get into who you've doxed, but you.
Oh, no, no, no. I asked you for proof, and you say you dox people. Well, if you make the statement that I dox people, give me a name of somebody that I have doxed.
I'm not going to give names, Howard, but you've been known to dox people.
I can give you a name.
Go ahead.
George Sinzer.
Okay. What is
From
the?
Firefox News Online, Brian. I'm the best news on Blog Talk Radio
Why would you dox that person? What purpose of that?
because he crossed me. He offended me. He said bad words to me.
And that's why you doxed him.
Yeah, that's why I doxed him. That's why I discovered that he has a cross dressing thing and he likes to inflate. And I can prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So
Now,
what does it take to someone to cross you to get you to dox them and try to
well,
harm?
he attacked me repeatedly, mostly over 911 stuff. Anytime I would show up anywhere on Blog Talk Radio and talk about 911, he would come on and he would just try to talk over me. And he maligned my character. He deserved what he got. And so I outed him. I outed his secret life to his friends, to his online friends over at Blog Talk Radio. And of course, now, I forget where he's on now, but I outed him. He deserved what he got. He poked me in the eye enough times that, just like Mike Tyson knows he has power. You agree?
Yes.
Okay. Would you, sitting behind Mike Tyson on an airplane, physically touch him and cajole him incessantly? Would you do that?
No.
Why not?
Well, I don't. I wouldn't do that to a person anyway. But with someone like
But
Mike,
why wouldn't you do it to Mike Tyson?
well, he could hurt. He could really hurt you. He's an expert.
Exactly. All right, you used to be a boxer. You're not much of a boxer now. You're a has been. You're washed up. That's all right. But Mike Tyson, you would never, even in your best days, you would never try to go after Mike Tyson.
That's correct.
Right. And George Sinzer, knowing that I'm a bit smarter than most, and knowing that I've got skills beyond most, decided that he was still going to go after me. I didn't go after him. I didn't go after him for no reason. In fact, I never started anything with George. George decided that he would come after me. And in the online world, I'm Mike Tyson.
So there was no what did because to a degree you did go after donning armor. What did he do to you that made you go after him kind of viciously?
Oh, I don't know, calling me Jew boy and some of the other things he said about my son. Uh, I just don't like him, and he's an avowed Nazi. He's donning armor. That is a euphemism, just like 1488 is. So donning armor got what he deserved. Donning armor thought he also could come after me, and he was like that schmuck on the airplane with Mike Tyson. Donning armor in the intelligence department is dwarfed by you.
Very well. Do you think that you always use your temper and contentiousness to your advantage?
Well, everything I do is to my advantage. I'm an Ayn Rand uh, follower. I follow her philosophy. Objectivism. Everything that I do is to my advantage, even for my son. Everything I do for my son is for my advantage. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart for my son, just for my son's sake. I am a true believer in selfishness. I live it.
Hmm.
I was flying with my flying buddy years ago, and he lost control of the airplane on a go around. Happens. I My training kicked in when this happened, and I pushed the yoke, the steering wheel, out of his hands. Not his side, my side. I pushed the yoke out of his hands and pushed it down and took control of the airplane from him with absolutely no warning whatsoever. We almost died. I saved us. When the airplane was stabilized and climbing properly and not in danger, he looked over at me and said, "Thanks for saving my airplane." To which I had to explain to him, "Idiot, I didn't save your airplane. I saved me. And by virtue of my saving me, I saved you. If I didn't save me, you wouldn't be here, and neither would your airplane. Who gives a shit about your airplane? I don't. I don't even care that much about you compared to me. You live because I wanted to make sure that I lived. Just like the airline pilot, when you take a flight somewhere and he lands the plane, he didn't land it for you, he landed it for himself. Just understand that everything you do is due to selfishness. Just people think that things like altruism exist. It No, it absolutely does not exist. So I do everything for me.
Does free will exist?
Free will, of course. Why would you ask a silly question like that?
There are people that say that it does not.
Well, there are people that say a whole lot of things. There are people that say 9/11 was done by a bunch of Arabs who didn't know how to fly, even though I can go on the FAA database and show you their flying capabilities and their certificates. So there are people that say lots of things. Most of it is lies. A lot of it is misinformation. And people say things because they like the sound of their voice. What you get with me, I like the sound of my voice. So I do enjoy saying things, but I'm smarter than most. And so I'm smart enough to not say something about a subject that I don't know. So where are you going to go with all that?
Well, I'll just say that your views on 9/11 are
Or
not.
what?
Most people, I don't think, have your views on 9/11.
A lot of people around the world do. A lot of people in the United States do not, and they don't seem to deal with facts very well. However, I just gave you something that you could look up. You can look up right now in the FAA Airman database Muhammad Atta, who is supposed to be the mastermind of the 9/11 hijackings. Muhammad Atta still has his information on the FAA database. I don't know why it's still there because they've removed the other three pilots from the database, but Muhammad Atta is still there. And he has a private pilot certificate. He has an instrument rating. He has a commercial certificate. And he's also signed off for flying twin engines. So he's got his twin engine sign off and high performance. I can assure you, Muhammad Atta knows how to land and take off in an airplane. Muhammad Atta knows a lot more than that. Now, what I just told you is on the FAA database. It's not up for speculation, it's there. If you were to look for it, you'd find it. I could show you where it is.
Are
I could
you?
share my screen and show it to you.
Yes.
So, when you say a lot of people don't agree with me, what is it they don't agree with? They don't agree that the FAA issued 3 certificates to Muhammad Atta. They also issued the same 3 certificates to the other pilots from 9/11, the ones that we allege were flying these airplanes. I don't believe that.
Are
And
you aware?
all 4 of them, hold on, and all 4 of these pilots were following the track of becoming an airline pilot. Their next certificate would have been a teaching certificate, flight instructor certificate, and then they would have built up some hours as flight instructors, and then they would get a very low paying job with one of the regional airlines flying a prop, flying a 2-prop airplane that might hold 14 or 15 people. And they would work their way up to becoming jet pilots and eventually becoming airline pilots. That's where they were going. Those guys wanted to be airline pilots, not hijackers, not terrorists. And the FAA database shows that. But you would like to say what? You would like to say that I'm wrong? Tell me how I'm wrong.
I don't have the information to tell you whether you're wrong or whether you're right on this issue, Howard.
Exactly. So why would you say that people would say that I'm wrong? Who are these people?
Well, the individuals that did the official report,
The individuals? Who are those people?
didn't the FBI and the Homeland Security do a report?
Oh, well, you mean the FBI who said that Trump was compromised because he hired a hooker who peed in his bed? You mean
Yeah,
that FBI? You mean that FBI?
yeah, I hear you. All right,
Yeah.
Howard.
You mean the CIA run by Clapper and all those other assholes, the ones that said that the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian disinformation project? You mean those people?
All right,
You
yeah,
would like to bring up those people
no,
and tell me how government doesn't lie. Does government lie,
yes,
Brian?
it does.
How often does government lie?
A lot.
So
Probably.
why would you think that they would be telling the truth when they write a 9/11 report?
That's a good question, Howard.
Because the government came out, Brian, and said that these guys, these wannabe pilots, they just wanted to learn how to point the airplane, and that's all they wanted. They didn't want to know how to take off or land the plane or do anything else in an airplane. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And yet, these guys all flew with designated flight examiners, not once, not twice, 3 times, to get the ratings and the certificates that were issued to them by the FAA. So who's the liar?
That's.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry you poked Mike Tyson? Because you just poked Mike Tyson. I'm the Mike Tyson of 911.
Howard, I have to get to work, so I have to end this broadcast. Something to think about, folks. Anything to say before I end the show, Howard?
Yes. Why
Well,
are you going to work so late?
because today I work late.
Do you always work late?
No, sometimes I work early.
Hmm. Is it early or is it just really late?
It's afternoon, Howard. All
It
right.
is.
Yeah.
Have you eaten today?
I'm going to have a tuna sandwich.
You're gonna have a what?
I'm going to have a tuna sandwich. Howard, I have to.
That
Howard,
will that have bread? Will that
Howard.
have bread around the tuna?
Yeah, I will. All right, Howard, I got to get going.
So you will be eating carbs.
That's affirmative. Howard, I have
Will
to
you
get.
answer the question about peeing in the shower? Do you pee in the shower? No. Why?
All right, folks, like and subscribe.
You seriously get out of the shower to go pee?
Howard, enough. Jeez Louise.
Do you believe that the pee doesn't go in the same place that the toilet does?
All right, now, Howard, I'm sorry I have to remove you. Guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Um, also, just a reminder there are monsters all around, and sometimes they'll reveal themselves to you, and sometimes they won't. Anyway, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We got sidetracked to a whole conversation about 9/11, which I don't know. I don't. I don't study up on the thing. Howard is interested. I wish Howard would get his own show and he could do all that. So I'd listen to it, as a matter of fact. But he loves coming on my show. So that's the way it goes. All right, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.